Oh, hello. You've caught me at a time. And that time is, unsurprising to most, right heckin' now. Yeah. I'm very rusty, so this is already like the third time I've tried to start this video. Sometimes I do that where I don't like how I'm starting a specific video, so I'll just keep saying or keep doing it over and over until I start it in the way that makes sense in my head, or that feels right. You know what I mean? I do that with a lot of things, actually. I just keep doing things over and over until it like scratches the little itch in my brain that's like, hey, you have to do it this specific way, except I'm not going to tell you what specific way you need to do it in order to scratch that itch. And then, it ends up being incredibly frustrating for me. But I think that this is it. Hopefully, maybe, who knows? I guess I'll find out in a little bit, and you'll never hear this introduction. But just in case I do stick with this, hello there. It's been a while since I've played a Minecraft video. Mostly because there's a thing that I'm planning in Minecraft. Oh my goodness gracious, it's a heckin' honker of a tree. Look at that guy. Whoa. Actually, you are a really pretty tree. I'm gonna save you because you're a good tree. So I'm gonna make sure that no other trees grow around you. Look at that guy. That's a great tree. Anyways, I've been playing this thing in Minecraft with my friend Jojo, as well as a couple of other people. And basically what it is, oh, hi B. Basically what it is we are creating a SMP, which makes no sense. I mean, like creating an SMP, that's fun. A lot of people do that. What makes no sense in my head is the word SMP in general, because it's just an abbreviation for survival multiplayer, right? So isn't that just like a regular Minecraft server? I don't get it. Why is SMP treated as like this big ol' separate different thing? And now everybody that I've come across is like naming their Minecraft servers SMP. And I don't get it. I don't understand. So if anybody does have an explanation for that, or like any way to like help me understand why it's called an SMP and why it's not just like Minecraft server, please let me know in the comments below. And while I wait for that, I'm going to continue farming. I kind of want to build another farm. I want to like set this as strictly maybe like wheat or carrot farm. And I want to build something like another farm out here. You know, I kind of like the terrace here, like a little step down. So I'm gonna keep the step down, and then I want to, I don't know, I want to do something here. Maybe I'll flatten out this land back here too. Do something with that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I certainly want to do something, and we're going to figure out what that something is today. I also don't really want to block the path to my mine, which is right over here. So we've got to figure out something with that as well. It might be nice to have like easier access to like that body of water as well, just because it's kind of pretty. And I like pretty things, and I like doing things for pretty things, or for pretty reasons, I guess. But I definitely don't want to block off my mine here. So maybe what I'll do is this will be the bottom of the terrace, and then I'll like clear out a lot of this stuff here. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do today. I don't think I'm going to get done with it today. I don't think I'm going to even make a dent in it today, but, you know, we might do something. We might get something done. So what I want to do is clear my inventory. Dirt. Wood. Oh, I'll probably need that crafting table. Cobblestone. Cobblestone. Coal, I believe, can go in there. Probably not, actually. Where would I want coal to be? This is just random junk, so I'll just throw everything in here, actually. That's a good idea, Nate. Good job. I'm very proud of you. Honey bottle is always good to have on me. Bread. Okay, mostly I'm not going to need those. Actually, I will probably need those at some point. But I am going to need a lot of shovels. So let me just grab 11 cobblestone, and I'm going to go ahead and craft myself 11 shovels. Or 7 shovels. 7 is also a number that is okay to have shovels in. I wish I had some wool or something to like block out this area. But it should be fine. I'll just like start going down from the top. First things first though, I do want to clear out the water. Or I want to do this. This is a lot louder than I thought that it would be. Also a lot sillier than I thought that it would be. I thought it would be like... I forget that Minecraft water doesn't really work like actual water. Oh, this is a good... Okay. Now let's clear out some of that. I just don't want to go around punching all of these, you know? Ooh, that was a good one. Ooh, actually, if I put it higher... then it sort of ends up spreading out more. Maybe punching would be faster. Who knows? Maybe. Or maybe I should just, like, ignore it. I just don't really like working with, like, all these plants and stuff around. I do have to be careful about the wolf when I'm digging out all of this land. I guess this is kind of a big terraforming project, isn't it? Or terraforming? Did I say terraforming? I meant terraforming. Terraforming sounds like a completely different word for like a different field. As in like academic field. Not like a literal field like I happen to be standing in currently. Oh my goodness gracious. This is a lot of grass. A lot of grass. Okay. Place. Okay, that was a good placement for that. That was some good placement for that. Okay. And now that we've got this cleared out, I can start doing this. Which is all that this video is going to be. Just digging some dirt and hanging out with friends. You know? That's what happens. That is what happens. Break. Sometimes I do that, actually, is I tend to, like, I dig a lot of holes in Minecraft. Especially I used to. Back in ye olden days when Minecraft servers were just called Minecraft servers, I used to join survival servers and... Oh, hello, cow. And just find a chunk far off from where everyone else was living and mine that entire chunk all the way down to bedrock. This was before, like, the bedrock limit got lowered, but I suspect that if young me was here today playing on Minecraft servers, then I would probably, I'd probably be doing the same thing, digging all the way down to the ground. Of course, caves are a lot bigger than they used to be, so it's like, it's a lot more complicated to just dig a hole straight down. I'm gonna put this over here so I don't, like, break it while I'm digging. ZZZ. Because if I like fall into something and die, this house is like tens of thousands of blocks away from spawn. Like just look at this. 44,000 blocks away from spawn is where I am currently. And for those of you that don't know, that is a very long way. And also, I walked that entire way, And you can see, you can watch that whole walk of mine because it's all on camera. Why I did that? Actually, there is a very specific reason why I did that. I started out because I was depressed and I didn't want to do anything else. So I just decided to keep walking in Minecraft. Specifically, like walking in Minecraft until I find this one specific object, and then once I found that object, the video ended. It also kind of like gave away the responsibility of ending the video, you know, because I said like I'm gonna end this video when I find this object, like. If I'm walking in Minecraft until I find a dandelion, then I pick up the dandelion and that's the end of the video. Because I don't actually like ending videos. I have kind of a problem with endings in general. I don't like when things end. Oftentimes I'll like watch a TV show all the way up until the very last episode, and then I won't watch the last episode. Because it like really bothers me a lot. I don't know why it bothers me, but I guess that's just sort of how I'm built. Endings kind of bothering me. So, a lot of times in my Minecraft videos, or in those Minecraft videos at least, or whenever I'm really depressed, I'd have to like come up with an arbitrary place to stop the video. Otherwise, I would just keep recording and keep going and keep playing. Which, as you can imagine, it's pretty bad. The longer I keep going. Speaking of which, I have work later today. Okay, it's only 3 o'clock. That's fine. Yeah, I'm closing today, so I don't have to be at work for another 3 hours. Break. All right. Oh, I actually have some good news. I can't say much about it, but I had an audition, like a voice acting audition, which is really fun and awesome and stuff. I've always wanted to be a voice actor. That's one of my things. My dream in the future is to, like, once I retire, I'll become a teacher, and I'll teach people how to do things, and specifically like arts and photography and videography and stuff. That's my dream for when I retire. Is I want to teach stuff. Before that, I would love to be a voice actor, and this was just such a fantastic opportunity. Yeah. Unfortunately, I signed an ironclad NDA, so I can't actually say literally anything about the project. What I can say is that I had an interview, or I had like an audition. They tested my range, so
I got to do a lot of really high voices.
And then I got to do a lot of really low voices like Patrick Warburton. That was pretty good. That was like, it was really fun. And then they said like, hey, we really like your range. Let's schedule another audition, but this one's like longer and we'll have more people in the call with you and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then my second audition was supposed to be only 15 minutes. Actually, it's kind of a funny story because I was supposed to like join the call at 2 p.m. And so I set an alarm. It was 2 p.m. It was all good, all dandy. I'm like, okay, 2 p.m. on this specific day is my audition, or I guess my callback audition. 2 p.m. on this specific day, and the astute of you out there are probably already guessing where this is going. I missed my audition, or I missed my second audition because they were calling from the East Coast of the United States, whereas I live in the West Coast of the United States. And so I missed the audition by about 4 hours. Is I think the conversion. No, 3 hours. 3 hours right now. So I missed the audition by 3 hours. And then I was like, they said that thankfully they understood and were like, yeah, we can reschedule. We actually had some cancellations today, so we can reschedule you. I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. So that was probably one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me. But what was supposed to only be 15 minutes at 2 p.m. Turned into a 45-minute audition at 5 p.m., which ironically for me was actually 2 p.m. So everything worked out, actually. I think like a longer audition is generally a good thing if you're like acting or voice acting. Because like 15 minutes is not really enough time to show off all that you can do. And also if you're not kicked out after your scheduled 15 minutes, then obviously you're doing something right. Is what I'm choosing to believe about this. Oh my gosh, I thought that the snowman was a skeleton. I also forgot the snowman was there. That makes sense why there's so much snow around. You were from my holiday special, right? I think so. Anyways, I still have all that coal that Santa gave me, so that's fun. But, yeah, I hope that it went well. I made like jokes and stuff, and I think that the production manager likes me a lot. I don't know if the director likes me or if like anybody likes me really. But I'm pretty sure that the production manager is like, yeah, Nate's kind of cool. We can maybe find a role for him. So I'm just hoping, because that would mean like the world to me if I'm actually like able to be in this project. Because it's a cool project that I'm not actually allowed to say anything about. Ay caramba. But it's a thing. Hopefully I'm being vague enough. Hopefully I'm being vague enough and I'm not doxing myself again. Ay caramba. Maybe that's the title of this video. Doxing myself again. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Anyways, it's I'm really hoping that I'm able to snag a role in it. It's a really cool project. I hope that I'm able to snag like more acting roles and stuff. And eventually I want to like maybe find an agent, but in order to find an agent you kind of have to prove yourself first, which means that you have to either make your own projects that do really, really well, or you have to like join other people's projects, which not always a guarantee, especially if you haven't done anything before. I don't know. The acting world is kind of like difficult to navigate if you don't have like money or connections, which I don't really have either. But it's fun. It's fun. Mostly what I do, or I guess what I used to do, was I'd like so there's this app out there, right? Or there's a website called castingcall.club. And on it there's a lot of like really small animators and like fan people and stuff that go on. Most of the people on there are like teenagers just like dipping their toes into animation. And it's really cool. And so I would like go on and I would volunteer to voice act for a lot of people's projects. So I guess I'd like audition and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if it's against the rules or not, but I actually had 3 accounts before. because I kept getting embarrassed, deleting my account, and then coming back like a year or two later and being like, actually, I want to do this again. But anyways, it was fun, and I would do a lot of like auditions and like things like that. Yeah, it was fun. I think I only got actually cast in a couple things through Casting Call Club, but it was still fun to like do that and all of that. I would like to get back into it, but I don't think that I want to do it through Casting Call Club. I think if I was going to, just because there's a lot of things on Casting Call Club that, I don't know. I used to really like the platform, and like some of the people on it were really cool, but I feel like, and this is both it's a good thing and a bad thing. Indie animation is doing really, really well right now, which is a awesome thing, and I love to see it. Like stuff like Has Been Hotel and everything is just so freaking cool, and I'm so excited. This is the timeline that I'm living in. This is the animation timeline that I'm living in, at least, where independent animation, or animation as a medium, has become so much more accessible to so many more people, to where like anyone can make like a animation or like a pilot or anything like that. I could even if I wanted to. Actually, that's a cool idea. Maybe I'll do that. Got a lot of stories to tell anyways. Okay, I need more sticks. But anyways, there's a lot of projects on Casting Call Club that are just from people, or at least in my experience. Maybe it's changed in a little bit since I myself have been on there, but it was just so many people that were joining because they thought that they could become like the next big thing in indie animation, and I'm like, that's it's not really how that works, and B, it's not really how that works. So, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. So I stopped going on there because I didn't like butting heads with people. I don't like butting heads with people. I don't know if it's obvious from my demeanor overall, but I'm kind of a conflict averse person. If that makes sense. I don't like confrontation, is what I'm saying. And I would butt heads a lot with like creators over not treating people right, or like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too old for things. I'm not even old. It was recently. I don't like my birthday, so I never tell anybody when it happens. But I think it's been long enough since it happened that I can say it was my birthday. Not really recently. I mean, I guess like recently in the grand timeline scheme of things. But I'm aged. I've aged. So that's a thing. Oh, I don't have an axe. Guess I'll just have to mine you by hand. I've aged. I feel old. I've always kind of felt a little bit out of place with people. Like, when I'm thinking or doing things, it's just slightly off. I know that other people can feel it too. I'm just sort of existing, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if there's really anything that I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm not saying anything at all. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Boop, 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 boop. But yeah, it's a thing. the thing. So I don't know if I want to do like more volunteer projects and stuff. Actually, yeah, that's kind of cool. If you want a voice actor that sounds a little bit like me in your project, you can either leave a comment here or join my Discord down below in the description. I know Discord is kind of problematic right now, so that's why I'm not saying that as like, oh, that's the first thing that you should do is join my Discord. If you don't like Discord, don't join Discord. I think that stands for everything. But if you want, you know, leave a comment and then I'll comment back and then bada bing bada boom. And then, yeah. So if you're like a student or maybe just somebody with your own little animated project that you want to do, let me know. That'd be fun. I don't think I get enough viewership on my videos for that. I guess it's kind of a call to action. It's not really a call to action. I'm basically just being like, hey, do you want a free voice actor that you don't have to pay because I'm free? That's cool. You get voice actor, I get to have fun voice acting character. That's a good deal. Sounds like a good deal to me. But who knows? Maybe it's a terrible maybe it's a terrible deal. Maybe no, that's a bad train of thought. I was about to be like, maybe I mean it probably exists out there, knowing like the capitalist maybe I gotta delete that word, who knows. In the society that we live in today, there's probably a business out there that's like, hey, voice actors, you should pay us to let you be in our thing. Actually, that reminded me, there was a video game before where literally that exact thing happened, where it was actually being made by somebody that I thought was like a friend, or at least a really cool person. But they were making this like visual novel project, and they started this like campaign where like, hey, you could be in the visual novel if you wanted to. And I was like, oh man, that's such a cool thing to do for people. Or like, that's such a cool thing. Like, how are you going to do it? Like raffle or whatever? And then it was just, no, you get to be a main character in the visual novel if you pay me to do that. And I know that they didn't need the money. They definitely didn't need the money. It was just, I don't know, it felt kind of scummy, you know? Not to say that there's anything wrong with them as a person, and that's why I'm not saying them out loud or calling them out directly. But, you know, it just didn't feel right to me. So that was really the last time we ever talked. But, you know, as it turns out, that was a thing that happened. Egg. That was a thing that happened where you're like, hey, pay me, and then you can pay me, and then I'll get to benefit off of you paying me. The weirdest part was maybe they changed this after the fact, but like, so people would pay to be in the visual novel and like have themselves or their OCs in the visual novel, and then they still had to pay full price to see it. Yeah, which was just weird. And then they. Actually, maybe I'm saying too much. Uh-oh. Oops. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. That part might have gotten. Actually, it might be obvious what I'm talking about now. With that, I might have to bleep that. Hopefully, I remember to bleep that. Break. I do end up doxing myself a lot, don't I? I do end up doing that. Break, 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 break. That grass is very lonely. You see that? That's a very lonely. It's a very lonely grass. There we are. Now everything is going to be okay. I'm going to put that grass in a place where it can have friends. That's what I'm going to do. 'Cause I've been recording for what, 35 minutes? Or at least this recording, because there was another one before this. I need a sign. Man, you'd think that I would have a sign, but I guess I don't. Wait, that's gonna make a spruce sign, right? Yeah, I don't want a spruce sign, I want an oak sign. Because those are actually, like, easier to read. An oak sign or a birch sign. Boop. Boop. I'm not lonely anymore. There we go. I like that. And with that, thank you everybody so much for watching. More Minecraft is going to come in the future. For now though, expect like kind of a mix of like various kinds of videos, like various games and stuff. I'm also going to be returning to the world of Call of Cthulhu soon. So if you haven't watched that other video, or if you haven't watched the first part yet, and you like spooky stuff, maybe go check it out. It's probably my favorite video that I've ever done. I guess like one of my favorite. It's definitely my favorite like Let's Play video that I've ever done. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And until then, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye. I moved over here so that I wouldn't punch the grass when I did that.